72% or so of GPs' time was spent in direct patient contact, so either face-to-face consultations or telephone consultations. This data was collected before the pandemic, so the majority of consultations were face-to-face at that time. And then about 12% was spent in non-patient facing clinical care activities, so things like looking at the incoming blood tests, doing prescriptions. 5% of GPs' time was spent dealing with operation failures, and that was the third most common task group that GPs were spending time on. Problems like looking for missing equipment, looking for missing information, computer systems that were slow, that needed rebooting, difficulty opening forms, for example, your blood request forms or your X-ray forms, which is very significant when you think about it, that the third most common thing that we're spending our time on is sorting out problems that maybe we could try and address and prevent them from happening in the first place and release all of that time for other activities in general practice. The image of general practice work is often, I think from a lay perspective, is that GP work is much more straightforward than what the reality actually is. And for us to simply organise care outside our practice with some other, whether they're community-based providers or providers at secondary care level, and get that information back and continue our ongoing responsibilities towards that patient actually involves so many more steps and frustrations and sometimes challenges than I think most people who work outside general practice would ever have perceived before that.
We knew that these operational failures or everyday obstacles happened, but what we hadn't got was really a comprehensive overview of the work that GPs do. This work does a lot to basically put everyone on a common understanding of what is actually happening on the ground in general practice. Where are the issues? All right, now we all know this. What can we do together to make things better? And that's what we hope that the paper will achieve moving forwards.